Okay, folks, don't worry. We're not actually going to draw from this book. It's a good book called Anatomy for Artists, and it's by Barrington Barber, and I'm sure you can still find this. It's a great book. If you ever take life drawing classes at a college level, I will warn you something that nobody bothered to tell me, which is that it means you're going to be drawing live nudes. And it's cool, you get used to it. But it's a little disconcerting the first time. All right, so what we're actually going to do is snowmen. And I thought that it might be helpful for you to look at the anatomy book's drawing that tells you that the eyes are roughly halfway down the face. There's a center line. The mouth in general ends about halfway through the pupil on each side, and the sides of the nose are generally about the same width as the corner of the eye, and there is generally one eye in between both eyes. This is just general information that should help you when you get ready to draw your snowman's face. All right, so then we really haven't talked a lot about drawing, but you are going to need to know a little bit about drawing in order to do your this has been used by my son. So my sons, but I know which one that did that drawing. All right, so there are assorted things you can draw with. This is a vision needle, which means it's a fine needle, kind of a felt tip pen. All right, so in pencils, in the wonderful world of art supplies, they have various types of pencils. This is a 4H. I couldn't find a 2H. But as you can see, even if I press just as hard as I can, it's a very hard lead and you're not going to get a real dark mark, okay? This is an HB, which means it's fairly balanced. It's neither hard nor soft. It's a pretty good choice for doing rough drawings, okay? And as you can see, it gives a darker mark if you press harder on it. Same amount of pressure as the one before, just a different pencil. This is a 2B. When you get into the Bs, they get softer. And as you can see, it is softer than an HB. All right. Really good tool for your basic drawing. It goes on dark enough with a light enough touch that you can erase it back off again. So it's the one you'll probably use most often, and it's the kind of the yellow pencils you get, they're almost all 2Bs. All right, so this is a 4B, and as you can see, when you put it on and you use the same amount of pressure, it's darker. And darker still is your 6B. And if you get much softer than this, you're getting into charcoals and other things, okay? So, though, as you can see, there's a tremendous amount of difference between the value of the light to dark, okay? And in pencil drawings, you're going to use light areas, just the paper, the light pencil for, say, I don't know, the bridge of the nose. You don't want it real dark, but you want a little definition, and so on and so forth. And probably by the time you get to nostrils, you might be doing the really dark. And if you're wondering, what is this? This is, I think they call it a stump. I haven't been doing drawing for a long time. I didn't use it a lot in my drawings, but as you can see, I have in fact used this one. But what this is for is to smear your lines, okay? Obviously, the darker it is, the more it will smear, okay? And then when you've used it up, you peel it back and expose new paper. And then you've got a fresh surface, and you just keep unwinding it and finding fresh until you use it up. So that's kind of a cool tool, kind of fun to use. Now the reason that I decided I'd probably best go ahead and pull out the stronger pencils is that, I'm going to turn on more light, maybe that'll help, is that when I drew the outlines for the snowman that we're going to talk about, it very soon became evident to me when I looked in the camera that it just wasn't dark enough for you to see what I had done. All right, so I wouldn't normally use a 6B pencil, especially on typing paper or copy paper, which I'm advising you to use because you probably have it on hand. If you have on hand sketch paper, it's a little bit thicker and you can erase. And so that's pretty handy to have on hand if you have it. If you don't, you can use the typing paper type stuff. All right, so all I did was I started relatively near to the top, and I did a circle, okay? And I just did this freehand. And I'm gonna go ahead and just trace over it rather than reinvent the wheel. All right, see, so just do your circles. And if I didn't point out to you that this circle is more egg-shaped and it kind of has a lump off to this side, you might not notice that, but it doesn't matter because snowmen aren't going to be perfectly round, okay? And then the bottom one, again, it's not a perfectly round circle, and it's going to be bigger than the one in the middle. And you can have a really fat snowman like this. You can have a real skinny snowman. You know, you get to choose these things, all right? So you got your basic snowman. And then what I did was, and you wouldn't want to use this heavy pencil for this. I used a light pencil, and I kind of drew halfway through the circle with a real light line. And then I drew halfway down the center of the snowman, and you can tell he's a little off kilter. He's a little bigger on this side than on this side. Doesn't really matter. All right, and then I came back and I kind of estimated the width of one eye, and then I did two eyes on the side, you know, one on each side, approximately an eye apart. And halfway through the circle, or the eye is about halfway through the halfway mark, all right? And I want to leave a white spot on the eyes so that it looks like the snowman is alive. So I went ahead and put little dots, and I don't have, you could do a crazy-eyed snowman with one eye looking up this way and one eye looking down that way, and you know, this is where you get to start to have some fun and play and all that sort of thing. But we're trying to keep it fairly simple, all right? So anyway, then I gave it a carrot for a nose, and I didn't quite get all the way over here to this edge with the side of the mouth. But if you think about it, most snowmen are being made by little kids, and you can always erase and or do it better. I did it better this time when I went to the next level. Okay, on this, I also did a little mark so that I would see approximately where I'm going to want to put the arms. And they're not right at the top up here. You could do it that way if you wanted to, but I put the arms coming off a little bit lower than the shoulder. Okay, so then I took it and tweaked it. I decided that maybe I had the nose of the carrot was too crooked or whatever, and I did the eyes. I didn't do them as straight because if these are lumps of coal, obviously lumps of coal wouldn't be straight. Added in some additional marks. Okay, I colored it in mostly so that you could see what I was talking about. And I've also left my lines to show you that it's okay at this stage to leave those lines, all right? So then what I did was to give it a hat, and I just came across a little bit above the eyes, kind of a sloping thing. And then because of the volume of the knit, I came out a little bit and did a compensation for that and made it a little thicker than the head, and came across, and this is almost, if you were to put one of these here, this band is relatively close to the top of the circle, not all the way up there, but you know, relatively close. So it's approximately like so, okay? And as long as you do it light, you can always erase, all right? And then I did a little half circle above that, and then a little half circle above that for pom-pom. All right, for the scarf, what I did, and I'll just go ahead and draw on this one, probably be easier. For the scarf, what I did was I said, all right, we're gonna leave a little bit of room because of the bulge of the scarf. We're gonna come out and around. We're gonna come up over the bottom of the face a little bit, and we're gonna put a knot so it's even bigger, just a blob. It doesn't really matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if it's the same each time. Really, this is just for play and give you some drawing practice. And then I did the scarf, and it comes out like so. The reason I did that was because just starting out, you're probably not going to be able to do a wash that goes all the way around the snowman your very first time, okay? And this is what they call a stop. These places where the picture goes all the way to the edge of your paper means that's a place where you can stop and rest. All right, so then I just played some more, and tree branches that I'm using for arms, they're not perfect, they're not the same, so it doesn't matter if you're a little off, okay? Then I decided that this snowman might like having a broom. And again, I've left my lines that are here, and I've just come back and drawn a really rough broom. Don't worry if that line is there, because you probably come back and put some lines for the broom anyway. All right. And really that is all there is to it. For the handle, if you were really freaking out, you could grab something and make a line. Otherwise, just kind of pick a point in your mind and go towards that line. All right? And as long as you keep doing that, your angles will be fine. So when we paint this, we're not going to worry when we do the outline. We're not going to worry about going over the top of the arms because those are going to be darker. We're not going to worry about going over the top of the broom handle because, again, that's going to be darker. All right, where we're going to need to put our paint is along the side of the snowman, because right now, white on white, it doesn't show. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a background, and that'll help pop your snowman out, okay? Again, we're talking about value. So you've got the white, and then you've got the value. And we'll probably come back with our little painting things at a later point and maybe give it some shadow underneath so that it looks like one is sitting on top of the other, and so on and so forth. All right. I want you to become comfortable with playing. So again, just start with your 3 circles. They don't have to be perfect. Then start drawing on your add-ons, whatever you might want them to be. And we'll show you how to actually transfer it to onto your watercolor paper. Excuse me. Later, it should be a real short lesson. I may show you a couple of things when I do that because I'm going to be setting up across the room at my light table. You can also transfer the design with a window, and that's how I got all of them to be the same exact thing so that I could show you step 1, step 2, step 3. Is I went ahead and just set this under this so that it would be exactly the same, so you could see how you add on, and then you finally end up with your finished drawing. Okay, oh no, I forgot something. All right, now, one thing I see, you don't have to do this, but especially if you're working in the window, you might want to use your black marker pen and not do the lines that obviously you don't want anymore, but go ahead and do the lines that you do want to have for reference, okay? And I'm not taking my time and doing a super good job with this because I don't think you need me to show you every little thing, all right? So again, you do the eyes and the dot that you're going to use for the center of the eye. And that should do it. I hope I caught everything. If I didn't, we'll get it later. Don't be afraid of this. Like I said, you're not going to be jumping right into doing life drawings at a college level or, you know, a museum class level or whatever. You're going to just be painting a snowman. Have a great day.